Hello, my name is Valery Arvat, and today we're going to talk about the calcium and the pH. Why is calcium the most important mineral in the body, and why are vegetarians often over-alkaline? Calcium plays a very important role in the body. It is a constant component of blood plasma, cells, and tissues. It is part of the cell nucleus and cell membrane. It is calcium that creates a protective field around the cell, and it also performs the following functions. Participates in the production of hepatic bile and gastric juice, in the ionization of enzymes, vitamins, amino acids. Did you know that according to the research of Dr. Reams, 96% of body weight is hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon? But what you probably didn't know is that out of the 4 remaining percent, the most part is calcium. Yes, you heard right. Of these 4%, 3.2% is calcium and calcium phosphate. For a person weighing 70 kilograms, the mass of calcium ions is approximately equal to 1.2 kilograms. According to my own observations, a person weighing 70 kilos with a reserve energy level of about 30% lacks about 100 grams of pure calcium ions to gain health, strength, balance, and success. Because success is when you succeed everywhere. And what can a sick person do who is in pain and has no energy? He will not bring things to perfection because he thinks about pain and negativity almost all day long. Irritability, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, thoughts about meaninglessness of being, obsessive thoughts, addiction to bad habits, arthritis, acne, allergies, asthma, atherosclerosis, blood pressure, indigestion, bloating, gas, nail and hair problems, high acidity, headaches, gallstones, stomatitis, bad breath, bad body odor, ringing in the ears, pain in the bones, muscles, constipation, numbness, tingling in the limbs, the presence of parasites, decay of teeth, curvature of bones. You have no idea how much these conditions depend on the calcium level in the body. Again, in the body, not in the blood. In the blood, the body tries to maintain a constant level of calcium. Therefore, it's very problematic to detect calcium deficiency by concentration in the blood serum.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
You could say that.
I can see it in your eyes.
Ask yourself, do you want to be the kind of person who feels bad either sometimes or constantly?
You're here because you know something.
Or do you want your energies to overflow, to wake up every day with a sense of awe for the wonderful world in which you will live another day?
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Do not switch. I will tell you about how to increase your energy levels of the body.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Let's go, shall we? Dr. Kerry Reams, author of RBTI, found that a person needs 6 types of calcium or calcium compounds from the food on a regular basis in order to gain and maintain health. These calcium compounds can be classified into 3 groups. Calcium compounds that bring body chemistry to the anionic or alkaline range. Neutral calcium compounds. Calcium compounds bringing body chemistry into the cationic or acidic range. In RBTI, calcium intake is based on urine pH test. In RBTI, we do not guess. We follow the test number. Therefore, we can say exactly what kind of calcium a person needs individually at this moment. and after a day or a week it may no longer be relevant. All numbers play a role in determining the right calcium, but the urine pH test has a major role to play. How can this be done at home? I use the pH paper strip, which I ordered from AliExpress. It costs something like $2–3 per package. In a package there are 100 strips for 100 tests. Urine is tested at 2 p.m. in winter time, 2 hours after eating. If you eat at 12, you test at 2. To move the pH of the urine in the right direction, we give the body the opposite ion. If the pH is in the alkaline range, we give cationic calcium, such as phosphate or lactate. If pH is in the acid range, we give anionic calcium, for example, carbonate. That's why coral calcium, so heavily advertised, is great for some people and makes life worse for others. If your urine is alkaline and you take calcium carbonate, which is an anionic calcium type, you'll become ill or very ill. Not immediately in most cases, depending on the level of reserve energy. The more you have, the more time you can fool around and waste your money and health trying new diets, pills and supplements. Now, do not run now to the pharmacy for calcium. Take this information seriously, as the misuse of calcium and even water in food can greatly damage your health. It is all the more dangerous because calcium, which can move body chemistry into one direction or another, increase or decrease your energy. It is found in food and people often do not know about it. And you can change your body chemistry without pills, powders or supplements. In the description, there is a link to a document that indicates which type of calcium prevails in different products. But since food today contains 5 or more times less mineral than 100 years ago, in RBTI we use mineral supplements to speed up the process of energy recovery. Energy is restored through the creation of new cells and tissue filled with minerals that act like small batteries. Weak cells, deprived of the right amount of minerals, can store a limited amount of energy and they quickly fail. Healthy cells filled with minerals store energy and serve the body for a long time, and such a person always has the strength to do what he needs to do. However, God the Creator or nature does not repair worn-out cells. He builds new ones, and for their construction a great variety and quantity of minerals are needed, which, only with the right body chemistry, can be well absorbed and used to build high-quality cells. Let your food be your medicine before your medicine becomes your food. Hippocrates said that, and he was absolutely right. According to my observations, the energy level of most people is much lower than possible in their conditions, not so much due to the fact that they lack minerals and vitamins, but due to the fact that they eat what they should have not eaten and drink little or drink low-quality water. And because of this, they lose energy. It is foolish to constantly fill the bucket with water if the bottom of that same bucket is broken and leaks. Of all the causes leading to loss of energy, 80% is what a person does wrong and 20% is what he lacks. Nowadays, the topic of ionized water grows popular, where the water is divided into two containers, anions predominate in one and cations in the other. And that water with a high pH and an ORP -500, -700 is advertised as benefactor. And this water can really help those whose urine pH is constantly in the acid range. But if a person has urine pH in the anionic range, then drinking such water will not lead to good. I've seen test results of people drinking this water when they should have not, and their urine pH is in the high 7s or it reaches 8 and more. They feel very bad sometimes. By the way, spring or well water with a high level of salts have almost the same effect, but to a lesser extent. What water should we drink then? Watch my video on water. For example, here's a result that is very common both among those who eat everything and among vegetarians. Now, many people are talking about the need to alkalize. That's the trouble. Basically, people are already over-alkaline, especially vegetarians and vegans. Here's a set of numbers. Such a person probably eats too much food, which brings the numbers into the anionic range. Often they eat too much bread or wheat in any form, too many cereals, dry cereals, avocados, bananas, blueberries, blackberries, tomatoes, seeds, leafy vegetables and greens. Logically, such a person needs more cations to bring the body into balance, since anions predominate in him. He needs to take calcium lactate or calcium phosphate or products containing them. The main thing here is not to overdo it. Here is an example of how the pH is connected to the energy level. On a 6.4 we have 100% of energy. Most people are born with this pH in body chemistry. And after a while they are fed by the book, and then in all people, no matter the race, sex or age, when they start losing energy, anions tend to predominate. And if they are eating food which pushes the pH up, like wheat, bread, tomatoes, avocados, bananas, leafy greens, so they continue to lose energy. When they reach 50% of energy, suddenly after that the pH drops to 6.2, 6.3, and later continues dropping as reserve energy is depleted. And after reaching the 4% of reserve energy in all the numbers, after crossing that point of no return, only God can save them. So, the people who are starting to lose energy because of various reasons, and if they worsen this situation by eating the wrong foods and wrong daily routine, also if they drink low quality water or they just drink little water, the loss of energy grows greater, and as a result they live less. And this is what the same person's test might look like after a while. It would seem that here you just need to remove the cationic calcium from the diet, and the body itself will take up and raise the pH or give anionic calcium. But that's not so. It's not that simple. In fact, this test says that this person ate animal meat, which always lead to energy loss. In RBTI, these are called no-no products. Most likely this person ate pork one day before the test. How do I know? Well, because there are patterns of movement in the numbers and proportions between them. And when a person eats something that leads to energy loss, this is reflected in the test in a certain way. And experienced RBTI testers can detect this. What happens if you give this person anionic calcium? Logically, if he has an excess of cations leading to acidic pH, then by giving anions, you can raise it to 6.4 and then everything should be fine. However, it will not. After 6 days, traces of pork consumption will disappear from these tests, and then the person will return back to about the same body chemistry he had before eating the pork sausage, minus a small amount of energy. That is, after 6 days, his numbers will be similar to those that were. It can be seen that if you give this person anionic calcium, judging by the previous test, he will get worse. His pH will jump even higher, and he will begin to complain of depression, loss of energy, problems with the teeth, neck, eyes, ears, and headaches. This is where the danger lies in the use of calcium while a person eats no-no products. Here is a whole list of foods that cause energy loss. And here is the next test of this person. As you can see, this person began to follow the diet more consciously and strictly, and therefore he began to progress. His energy levels increased because his numbers came closer to perfect. But the calcium he needs is still, and if you would have thought that it was necessary to give anionic calcium according to the previous test with a urine pH of 5.2, and you would not have conducted repeated tests, you would have been very mistaken, and the person could get hurt. This is why it's very important to follow a clean diet without products leading to energy loss when taking calcium and other supplements. If this is not done, then serious damage can be done. Write in the comments if you're interested in the topic of how different no-no products act on the body. As you saw above, I gave the full equation of the test, not just urine pH, in order to show which calcium can be taken to raise energy levels. And here's why. The absorption of calcium depends on the first number, the sugar number. If the sugar is below 1.2, some part of the calcium will not be absorbed. The number of salts is likely to increase due to this. If the sugar is above 2 or 3, then some of the calcium will begin to settle in the liver, instead of going where it should. This will lead to an increase in the pH of saliva and will weaken, or the ability to digest food will decrease. There are other things, I don't know what to scare or confuse you, but with the right approach, when you have all or at least most of the test numbers, you can very quickly achieve success in increasing energy levels. Success in increasing energy levels happens when the body chemistry changes and you succeed in giving it what it lacks to move to perfect. That's why it's important to consult with an experienced RBTI tester or become a good RBTI tester yourself. With a proper understanding of how the body works, it is possible to achieve in a few weeks the results that others achieve in many years or decades through trial and error outside the RBTI system. Next time we'll talk how to identify and correct a deficiency of vitamin A, D3, C, B12 using the Reams tests. Goodbye.